Football fans, are you as utterly bewildered as I am right now? Just when you thought the NFL offseason couldn't get any crazier. Just when you thought we'd seen every outlandish trade proposal under the sun. CBS Sports drops a bombshell that makes everything else look tame. We're talking about a trade so wild, so audacious. It involves 4 teams and sees the Miami Dolphins. Yes, the Miami Dolphins, replacing Tua Tagovailoa with a former MVP candidate. What in the world is going on? This isn't just speculation. It's a fevered dream of a trade that has set the internet ablaze. Is it possible? Is it pure fantasy? Let's peel back the layers of this mind-bending proposal and try to make sense of the madness. So, let's get right into the heart of this football frenzy. Cody Benjamin of CBS Sports, bless his creative soul, decided to pitch a trade so audacious it makes your head spin. We're talking about a 4-team mega deal that would fundamentally reshape the landscape for several franchises. At the center of this hurricane of hypotheticals, none other than Miami Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa. In Benjamin's vision, Tua would be shipped off to the New Orleans Saints, and in return for the Dolphins, they would receive San Francisco 49ers quarterback Brock Purdy, the very same Purdy who finished 4th in MVP voting just last season. But it doesn't stop there. The Dolphins would also send a 2026 second-round pick to the 49ers as part of this intricate dance. Let's break down the full, dizzying proposal, because it's a lot to digest. The San Francisco 49ers, in this scenario, would acquire quarterback Kirk Cousins from the Atlanta Falcons. Yes, Kirk Cousins, who is currently blowing the wind as Atlanta's supposed number 2. Along with Cousins, the Niners would also receive a 2026 second-round pick from the Dolphins and a 2026 third-round pick from the Saints. The Miami Dolphins, as we mentioned, would land Brock Purdy from the 49ers. The New Orleans Saints would get Tua Tagovailoa from the Dolphins. And finally, the Atlanta Falcons would receive center Matt Hennessy from the 49ers and a 2026 fifth-round pick from the Saints. It's a transaction that reads more like a complex financial derivative than a football trade. The sheer audacity of it is what makes it so captivating, and frankly, so utterly unbelievable. But Benjamin, to his credit, does offer some reasoning behind this madness. Now, you might be thinking, why on earth would anyone propose such a thing? And that's a fair question. Benjamin's logic, while certainly stretching the bound of reality, does have a certain twisted internal consistency. For the 49ers, Benjamin argues that while they just paid Purdy, head coach Kyle Shanahan has a known affinity for his old pal Cousins. The idea is that a Purdy to Cousins swap might be a downgrade in 2025, but adding a couple of early round picks could help San Francisco replenish its greater infrastructure. It's a long-term play, sacrificing a bit of present for future draft capital, while bringing in a veteran familiar with Shanahan's system. For the Miami Dolphins, the rationale is equally intriguing. Benjamin suggests Miami might embrace a more dynamic signal caller for Mike McDaniel's timing-based offense. This implies a belief that Purdy, with his mobility and quick decision-making, could unlock new dimensions in McDaniel's scheme that Tua hasn't. And for New Orleans Saints, Benjamin posits that sending Tagovailoa to another former left-handed quarterback in Kellen Moore, whose Saints are sorely inexperienced under center, could be a boon. He even adds that, even considering Tua's injury history, you can bet veterans like Alvin Kamara, Chris Olave, and Brandon Cooks might prefer a proven passer as Moore installs his offense. It's a compelling narrative for each team, even if the overall scenario feels like something out of a video game. But let's pump the brakes for a moment and inject a dose of reality into this fantasy. While Cody Benjamin's logic for this 4-team trade proposal made a certain kind of sense within its own hypothetical framework, it's difficult to tell how serious he was about the possibility of this trade actually happening. And frankly, we shouldn't be. Benjamin pitched his Dolphins 49er Saints Falcons trade in an article entitled 5 Wild NBA-Style Trade Proposals for the NFL. His objective, it appears, was to name 5 crazy trade proposals more for entertainment purposes as opposed to deals that could actually occur. Let me be unequivocally clear. The possibility of Tagovailoa getting traded somewhere this summer is very, very close to having a 0% chance of happening. This isn't a slight against Tua. It's a recognition of the NFL's current landscape and the sheer complexity of moving a quarterback on a massive new contract. Teams simply don't make these kind of moves unless absolutely forced. However, even if the trade is pure fiction, the underlying premise, the idea of the Dolphins entertaining potential replacements for Tagovailoa, is where the real conversation lies. And in that context, Brock Purdy makes a surprising amount of sense. Why? Because Dolphins head coach Mike McDaniel coached under Kyle Shanahan in San Francisco and runs a very similar styled offense. Purdy, despite being the last pick of the 2022 NFL Draft, famously earned the starting job with the 49ers in Shanahan's offense, proving he could thrive in that precise system. His numbers speak volumes. In 40 NFL games, Purdy has averaged an impressive 8.9 yards per pass and posted a stellar 104.9 passer rating. He boasts 64 touchdowns against 27 interceptions, accumulating 9,518 passing yards. His career record as an NFL starter stands at a solid 23-13. And let's not forget his 2023 MVP candidacy. While he didn't receive any first-place votes, he finished fourth in voting with 97 points, ahead of players like Dak Prescott and Christian McCaffrey, who also didn't get first-place votes but were widely praised. This isn't just a feel-good story. It's a testament to Purdy's efficiency, decision-making, and ability to execute a high-level offense, precisely the kind of traits McDaniel values. Again, let's reiterate. The likelihood of a Tagovailoa-Purdy swap is extremely remote, but what this wild trade proposal does highlight is the immense pressure facing Tua Tagovailoa and the Miami Dolphins as they head into the 2025 season. Tua's career record of 38-24 is respectable, and he led the league in passing during 2023. He also helped the Dolphins earn playoff berths in 2022 and 2023, marking the first time Miami made the postseason in back-to-back years since way back in 2000-2001. These are significant achievements, no doubt. But for a quarterback who just signed a 4-year, $212.4 million contract, that's simply not enough to justify the massive investment. He's getting paid to be an elite quarterback, a franchise cornerstone who can elevate the team beyond just making the playoffs. Dolphins fans and the organization itself want to see the team take the next step, win the AFC East, and more importantly, make a deep playoff run. They want to see him lead them to a Super Bowl. Until that happens, until Tua Tagovailoa silences the critics by delivering a truly transformative season, NFL pundits are going to continue to devise these wild, often nonsensical, trade proposals. They will continue to float scenarios that see the Dolphins giving up on Tagovailoa for other quarterback options. It's not necessarily a reflection of Tua's talent, but rather the insatiable hunger for a team to reach its ultimate potential, especially when a quarterback is paid like one of the league's very best. The pressure is real, the expectations are sky high, and every passing week without a deep playoff run will only fuel more of these wild ideas. Tua has the opportunity to prove everyone wrong, to solidify his place as the Dolphins' undisputed leader. The future of the franchise and the end of these outlandish trade rumors rests squarely on his shoulders. So, what do you think, football fanatics? Is this trade proposal a sign of things to come, or just a fun, albeit crazy, way to pass the time until training camp? Let us know your wildest NFL trade ideas in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the absurd and the analytical, hit that like button, share this video with your fellow fans, and make sure you're subscribed for all our exclusive NFL insights. Until next time, keep those takes hot, and let's see what other madness the offseason brings.